All right. Going to the Music City. So the Trans Perfect Music City Bowl. So first off, checks all the boxes for me. You have the football there in a creative way that references the name of the bowl and the location. The sponsor is not being a jerk and changing color scheme midway through the logo. It's well constructed, great colors, great design. I think this is an A. What do you think, TJ?
I like it. It's a solid logo. It kept the traditional Music City Bowl football music note logo, which I like. And like you said, TransPerfect didn't, try and insert themselves in ways they shouldn't. I like the color scheme. I almost wish there was more light blue, but I don't know exactly where you'd put it unless it was the football. But that's such a nitpick. I mean, they did a good job, and it reads well, and yeah, I mean, there's very little to complain about here. Like I said, very nitpicky gripe of give me more of the light blue.
Myrtle Beach Bowl. I like it. It hasn't been taken over by any corporate overlords. So you have the water there with the football bowl, Myrtle Beach. Like it's not trying to do like a whole lot, but it's doing just enough to where I can be like, this is solid. TJ, what do you think of it?
I think it's good. I really like the football shape with the water and the waves. I like that a lot. In future iterations of this bowl game logo, even if you add a corporate sponsor, I would recommend putting that just on top, like create like the shield going up a little higher and put the brand name up there, maybe in like orange, like the outline or something. But like, don't change this. This is pretty good. The football and the orange outline and the bowl letters are different colors. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but
Yeah.
otherwise, it's pretty good. Like I said, I love the football and the waves. Like I think that's great.
They didn't try to do too much. I think it works. I think it works. Speaking of doing too much, are you ready for the New Mexico? So Giljan decided, hey, we're going to have our mural inside the football there with New Mexico Bowl, Albuquerque there. We got red, we got blue, we got tan fading into white, we got brown. We got a lot. We got a lot going on here. I definitely don't like this as much as I like the other two, but I feel like there are elements here that could make a fantastic logo. But it's doing a lot, and I don't know if it's coming together quite well for me. But TJ, what do you think of this?
Here you go.
Thanks.
What do you think of this logo?
So I like the top part. I don't know why I don't like the bottom part. It's just boring.
The bottom is boring. Fair enough.
There's like 3 fonts.
At least 3 fonts.
Yes, there are 3 fonts.
Good insight.
It's my contribution.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for being on part of the video, Quinn.
Say bye.
Say bye. I think I like the top. I mean, if it's in New Mexico, you're going to need certain icons, certain imagery, and they do that. There's part of this logo that seems like it's stuck in the past, and I think this is more or less the same logo they've used for years with a different brand sponsor. Where I will give them props is Gildan's logo, or name, if you will, is in the same-ish color as the football outline. That's good. And then they have red kind of tying into. So there's some good there. Like Gildan didn't just throw a purple logo on here, or something silly. But it feels disjointed a little bit, a little disconnected. It's like they put two logos and smashed them together, which we've seen in some of the other bowl games. It's like, hey, we have a really cool logo, let's slap the AutoZone logo on top, like those kind of things. And so I think that there's some good ideas here. I think the time that this logo had where it worked has passed, and it's now time to refresh just a little bit. You should keep. I think you should keep most of the football and maybe change that a little bit. But I think that there's some good elements here. It's just time to modernize just a little bit though.
Next up, we got the New Orleans Bowl. So I like the New Orleans Bowl logo. I like it. R&L carriers, they wanted to make sure that you knew they were up there. But here's the thing. The colors, matching the colors. And the colors are very New Orleans. I like how they turned the O into the light there. I like it. And I think it works. TJ, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with what you said about the colors. They didn't try and do something crazy like slap an orange logo on top or something, or introduce red into this color scheme, which would have been a big mistake. I do like that they did match the colors. There's two different greens in there, but they match. And the lamppost is great. Love that. My only, I guess, weird gripe, if you want to call it that, is that there might be a little too much white. It's just, but what do you do with that, right? It's R&L Carrier's logo. We can't do much with that, and there's not really a better placement for it that I can think of. So, yeah, I like the colors and I like the lamp a lot. And if you're going to have a corporate sponsor logo on top, match the colors and do something like this, and it'll go a long way.
For this next one, we're talking the Orange Bowl here, and I wanted to look at the history of the Orange Bowl. So as you see, the Orange Bowl logo got more and more corporate as time went on, because they start off with like the fun, cartoon orange with the crown and the smiling and you looking good, and then he gets modernized, and he's got a little hair there under the crown, you know what I'm saying, trying to be smooth and slick and suave like that. And then the FedEx Orange Bowl, it's like been the FedEx Orange Bowl for quite some time, until 2011, where Discover's like, we don't want personality on this orange here. We don't want a mascot orange. We want it to be corporate. We want it to be orange. We want Discover there. So you have that. But then what we have currently is the Capital One Orange Bowl. And I gotta say, this is clean. This is clean. And we've seen logos where, of course, the corporate sponsorship is there, and it is very big. They want you to know that it is Capital One's Bowl. But I will say, just purely on a construction basis, like, this looks really good. Like, this looks like the bowl is an extension of the brand of Capital One, but it hasn't completely lost its personality. I love the colors. I love how they incorporate the brand, like with the, putting it in that, crest, that shield. So I like the construction of this, and I think it looks good. TJ, what do you think of the Capital One Orange Bowl?
I think this is another situation kind of like the Gator Bowl, where you need to remove yourself from wanting something like the logos of the past for our experiment here. We are talking, is it a good logo? And it is a really good logo. It is a more modern logo in that it is built with the corporate brand in mind. That being said, that would be kind of the only area that I wish things could have been a little different. The red isn't anywhere else, right? Like, I mean, I understand doing blue so it can stay in your branding, But there's an opportunity here, right? To, you have that lighter goldish, orangish colors. You could have done one of those as your swoosh. That would have been cool. You could have done, I miss the green of the old logos. Like, you could have added a little more green personally for my taste, but at the end of the day, this is one of those more modernized logos, kind of in the same vein as the Holiday Bowl or the Cotton Bowl, where they did something new, something modern, and built around a brand, a corporate brand, and it works. And this is where bowl games are and where they're headed and where they've been. So as far as the execution of that goes, this is about as good as we can ask for, and I think it's solid.
Speaking of corporate and long-standing bowls, we got the Peach Bowl. I'm just thankful Chick-fil-A let go of that little brief period of time where they try to just make it the Chick-fil-A Bowl, and it's like, okay, Chick-fil-A, like, no, it's the Peach Bowl. Let's hold on to some tradition. So I really think this is well designed. This is another, example of, corporate brands slapping their name on something, but this is not egregious because even the little red there matches the red of Chick-fil-A. Peach is still the main thing there. I really like how powerful Peach Bowl that text looks on here. So it's not like it's a corporate brand and they're trying to like hide the fact that this is another name bowl. So I think this is well done. TJ, what do you think of the Peach Bowl?
It's good, like you said. It's not the Chick-fil-A Bowl, although peach is big, that it's still prominent. Again, I look to Cotton Bowl as a good example of this. It is given its moment to shine. The red really pops, and that's kind of that's their intention. I understand that. Putting it on kind of the peach trophy kind of shape look, that's what they've been doing for a while. Is good. You could have used a little more red if you wanted to, but they really wanted to make sure that each thing kind of had its own moment. Chick-fil-A is in red, Peach and Bowl are in blue, gray background. There you go. So it's good. Again, built with the corporate brand in mind. Like, you could put just about any logo on top of there in their design scheme and it would work. So yeah, and Chick-fil-A makes sense for the Peach Bowl sponsor anyway. So I've always thought that.
Now we got the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. So we got to take just a little bit of time here because in one aspect I am impressed, and the reason why I'll say that I am impressed is because let's go back to the previous version of this pinstripe look. Now this I always thought was beautiful. It's a great idea for a bowl. It's a great name for a bowl. The first logo of the bowl was great, fantastic. Pinstripe is there. Got New Era being the sponsor, and the sponsor. Other sponsors, take note of this. Not only is this sponsor putting their name on the bowl, but not in a way that dominates it. It's in the context of the design of the bowl. So I really, really have always dug that version. So with the current version that we are seeing here, I'm impressed because they've taken the elements. It's like this is almost like a design challenge, I feel like, for whoever designed this. Where it's like, okay, this is the new sponsor. How are we going to incorporate them? So they like lifted it up and like made the pinstripe, with a different ribbon. They still have the football there. They raised the structure and then have the circle there with the Bad Boy Mowers logo. So I'm impressed with the completion of this logo challenge. Bad Boy Mowers, are you sure you couldn't have been in all white?
Yeah, so during the Fenway Bowl, I alluded to another baseball-centric bowl game that is one of my favorite new bowls, and this is it. I've loved the Pinstripe Bowl since I heard about it as a concept. I think it is excellent. I love the venue. I love the location. I loved the original logo, and I loved New Era as the sponsor. I thought that it worked really well. I like this a lot, primarily for the fact that, like you said, the elements that they kept that still speak to not just Yankee Stadium, but to the Pinstripe Bowl as a bowl game. This is a bowl game, like I said, it's a newer bowl game, but it's been going for a little bit now. It's enough that it's an established bowl game. I think the first one was like 2010 or 11 or something like that. So it's been around. We are established. This is a bowl game. And with the change in corporate sponsor, you had an opportunity to kind of refresh, because they could have done what New Era had done, or take your opportunity, and they did that. I think that what works really well about this, that wasn't really included in the past, is the inclusion of Yankee Stadium as that wasn't present in the original logo. And the archways that are kind of the top of Yankee Stadium look great here. Perfect. The football that was on the original logo, like a gray and white football, is here also, and I like the placement of it. It's the shape of the crest works really, really nicely for me. And this, again, is a logo for a modern bowl game with a corporate sponsor in mind. Imagine if New Era had this, they would have New Era really big in the bottom, and they'd have their NE flag in the circle. This is something that's going to work for anybody. Although if you're Bad Boy Mowers, you're probably going to hold on to this. I don't have a huge issue with them keeping their orange color. It's who they are, and you think you're going to get Bad Boy Mowers to admit that they did something wrong. I don't. They're unapologetically them. That's why I liked them as the sponsor of the Gasparilla Bowl. But they went somewhere else, did something different, and here they are. I think the orange and blue works nicely as a color scheme anyway, and especially like this orange on a navy blue, you don't really need to do much with it, and it still shows up. Even on a small logo, you can still read it. The only thing that gets kind of lost a little bit is the dog logo, but that's not really that important when you get smaller. So still one of my favorite bowl games, still one of my favorite bowl game logos, and I think that this is going to be one to watch for future branding. I would have, of course, liked Bad Boy Mowers in white. You know that I would have, but that's okay. We take what we can get.
Indeed, indeed. So TJ, we're here. We have arrived. Poptarts Bowl. I mean, hey, they took it, man. They took it and said, we're going to go all the way. No half measures. We're going to make a Poptarts Bowl game logo, a Pop-Tart, and we're going to include just a hint of Florida action with the tree there, Orlando at the bottom. I like it. It's colorful, it's vibrant, it's energy. It works well for me. TJ, what do you think?
You've mentioned in a few of these videos now, and a few of these logos now, extension of the brand identity. This is the best you can show that. I mean, for Pop-Tarts. If you were going to do a Pop-Tart Bowl and do some sort of logo like the Holiday Bowl, you're Pop-Tarts, right? You're going to stay in your lane and you're going to do the goofy thing. You are closer to a Tony the Tiger Bowl than you are to a Goodyear Cotton Bowl. And they understand that. If they were to do the Peach Bowl, that they could keep something like what Chick-fil-A's done, but it's a little sillier. You'd probably do more Pop-Tart centric thing. You are a meme food, and you've embraced it with admitting you're going to have an edible mascot and a probably edible trophy. So this is great. And if you're going to talk about just the logo by itself, it's really clean. Good colors. You've got kind of the Florida sunset kind of thing, and the palm tree going there. It looks like a Pop-Tart someone took a bite out of. It's perfect. There's one more do you say about it. It is the Poptarts Bowl. And that little Orlando down there and that little palm tree up there, if it moves, I mean, that's easy. That's a real easy fix.
Now we're going to Detroit. to the Quicken Lane Bowl. And of course, Quicken Lane Bowl, you got the Detroit. So of course it's going to be something car related. So you got the tire there with the football there. And I like this. I have a small thing that I wonder about. So big, color on color, ACC, color on color, Detroit, color on color. This shadow thing that Quicken Lane Bowl text is doing in the middle, I'm not a fan of it. I would like to see that as just a solid white or something different. I feel like stuff kind of is getting lost there, especially because it's an orange and a white, so it's not enough contrast for me to justify it. But I think this is solid. PJ, what do you think?
I appreciate that this logo, I believe, is the first we've seen that has the logos for the conferences that participate in it in the actual logo.
Yes.
Poptarts just had it in a sign for it, but that's not in the logo. So that's pretty
Correct.
cool. That's pretty neat. I like that. I like the blue and white. I like the tire and the football. Like, that's really good. Detroit with the little orange dashes looks real good. And I just, I think that they had to make a choice. They wanted to make Quick Lane Bowl stand out and pop a little bit. And unfortunately, I don't think they chose the right thing to do that. I almost would wonder, if you were to have the Quick Lane Bowl shape, this little like four-sided shape, be white, and the Quick Lane Bowl without a drop shadow just be blue, would that pop more? I think it might. I mean, it's something to play with. I don't hate the drop shadow, but it seems when you have the Big Ten, the B1G logo, and the ACC logo, and the Detroit looking as good as it does, those almost pop more than the Quick Lane Bowl because of what you did. And that's not what you want us focusing on. So this is one of those rare cases where the corporate sponsor actually kind of fades to the background, which is not what their intention was. I know it. So that would be my note. Let's try that shape in white and Quick Lane Bowl in a different color or colors, and we can see what happens. Maybe the hand with the wrench is in orange and the words are in blue. I don't know. Or maybe Quick Lane's in one color and Bowl's in a different one. I don't care. Let's have some fun with it. Let's play with it. Let's see how it looks. I think that there's going to be something good there.
Moving on to the ReliaQuest Bowl in Tampa Bay. Don't know what a ReliaQuest is. I feel like it's something like super corporate, like, because based on what they're giving us here, like this ain't Pop-Tarts. I can tell you that right now. It ain't Pop-Tarts. I just looked it up and it's still, what is it? I'm reading something. It's a security something. It's a force multiplier of security teams. Okay, so I guess it's a computer security service in Tampa, Florida. Okay. All right. Computer security. I need you to also do better with knowing what we're trying to do here. So let me just say this. Tampa Bay, Florida, the top part of this, it's thumbs up for me. Like the football, the trees, the gradient for the sky in the background, great. You have the, nice, sleek, corner thing, which I feel like is part of their branding, great. I'm sorry, when I am looking at a bowl game logo, give me something with this text. This text is like super, super corporate, super basic. And to me, it almost doesn't match the top for me. So I feel like if you could zhuzh up the bottom half a little bit, I would like it more. But maybe I'm just being too hard on this. TJ, what do you think of this?
So here's the thing. I appreciate that it is kind of a unique shape for a bowl logo. So I appreciate that. I can't shake the feeling that this, if you had presented this to me without the other bowl logos, I would have thought that this was the like hyper corporatization of the Boca Raton Bowl. But I do like the idea of it, the palm trees. I like the color of the football. I like the black with it. I like the sunset. Like that all looks great. My thing is with ReliaQuest, whatever you want to call yourself, Quest, you have like that little like Petra shape as your like fun part of your logo. That is used everywhere from my quick Google search in your branding. So why, pray tell, is that not the shape, or at least the basis of the shape of this logo? Imagine if that was upper right corner and you had your name up there or something, and like you could do that in like a couple corners or something, and base the shape on that, and like actually include more of those fun triangles to incorporate some more color into this logo. Maybe even take that little triangle pattern and do the bottom or something. I mean, you have exactly one cool part to your branding, and you just are okay with it just being down there because you're intending for this bowl to maybe not be sponsored by you in the future. That doesn't make sense. You created this. So it just feels like there's like a tiny bit of a missed opportunity. However, that being said, still a good logo. I still think that, I mean, because of the black with the white text on there, it really pops. The football reads really nicely, and the black palm trees with the black background around the rest of the shape, it looks really good. So yes, it's a good logo. I almost kind of wish that it was outlined with the teal, but that's a different problem. So I'm conflicted about it, but it's still a good logo.
Got you. TJ, we're gonna take a little trip west. We're gonna get classy on them. The Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all. This is class personified. I mean, there's not really too much to say about this. I think this is fantastic. They've had several corporate sponsors over the years, yet they've kept the rose, they've kept the style, they've kept the class. Kudos to you, Rose Bowl. TJ, what do you think of this?
Yeah, what do you say about the Rose Bowl game, right? It is the Rose Bowl game. It is the only game that could make the college football playoff, of which bowl games were begging to be a part of, change their schedule. Like the Rose Bowl didn't just say we'd like to be a part of this. They expect to be a part of it. And the city is like, we are not changing anything about this game. You're welcome that we are part of it. And so that's, I mean, what do you do, right? Like the Rose Bowl game is iconic. The Rose Bowl game, it has their logo that is iconic. It is consistent. It is there. And we're at a point now that there's not much you can do, although you could maybe like not do your logo in whatever your color is. I mean, it's, I don't know, Prudential, like, do you have a like red logo? Do you have a black logo? Yeah. There was a time that I seem to remember that it was like AT&T and it was green. I don't know. So I think that there's no way at this point that you're going to change this and do some sort of modernized crest or anything like that. That's not happen. This is what it's going to be. This is the framework. This is the template. And yeah, I think that this is what we're stuck with. So I mean, if the Rose Bowl committee people are like, congratulations, you are paying us money to be the corporate brand here, and we're just going to use this logo. You good with it? And Prudential said, yep, thank you, and went on their way. Cool. I can't critique that, right? It's Prudential's logo. under the words presented by, under a good logo. So disjointed, sure, but the Rose Bowl game and the big Rose Bowl logo need to shine, and they do. What do you do? What
I think the Rose Bowl. I think the Rose Bowl is like that's the logo, and then the corporate sponsor is not even involved. I think this is the one bowl game where the corporate sponsor is not. It's not like the presidential's Rose Bowl game. Like no. We're the Rose Bowl. We're allowing you to put your logo near our bowl game logo. You're not a part of this, but you get to be beside. You get to be, underneath the actual logo. Like I think this is like legitimately the only bowl game that's like this, where like the Rose Bowl is just that hoity-toity, where it's like no, we can allow certain people to sit beside us, but you're never gonna be a part of what we're. No. You don't get to change it.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we got the Sugar Bowl. As a big fan of SEC schools, I'm quite familiar with the Sugar Bowl, and I love this. You got the classic Sugar Bowl there. We got the All-State logo there, which the All-State Sugar Bowl, what you want as a corporate sponsor is to get a good bowl, one, and then two, hold on to it and have it be valuable to the point where your corporate brand is attached to the bowl game. Like people say, the All-State Sugar Bowl. Like it's not the Sugar Bowl presented by, it's like the All-State Sugar Bowl is a part of it. I think this is well designed. I think they have their corporate sponsor, have a good amount of space, but they allow Sugar Bowl to really shine, to really pop with the detailing and the shadowing on the text. I think this is great. TJ, what do you think of the Sugar Bowl?
The Sugar Bowl logo is unique in that it's been what I've described as a modern bowl game logo, where with a corporate brand in mind, since like the 90s almost. Like it's been like this. Like this is the logo as far as it was what, Nokia or whatever before that, but like that was up there, and then Sugar Bowl, right? Like that was always the case. I love that they have stayed true to the Sugar Bowl trophy shape logo. Like that's not going anywhere. The Sugar Bowl text hasn't really changed much. And Allstate was just like, yeah, let's just add ourselves here. Like we're not gonna take up too much space. Like we're gonna here's our hands up here, but like that's all we're gonna do. You're gonna be in red Sugar Bowl. You're gonna be on the Sugar Bowl. Like it's non-intrusive, and it lets it do its thing. It's as close to presented by like the Rose Bowl has that we're gonna get with any of these. It's a good logo.
It's nice. Next up, we're taking a little side trip to the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. So, all right. So I think we've talked about logos before, where it's like we have what we don't like, which is just slapping your logo onto something, ruining the logo. We don't like that. And then you have some where they're like, we're going to take over the bowl. So the bowl's about our brand. It's an extension of us now. And then you have those that want to incorporate it into the already existing bowl brand. This one is definitely on the we're taking this over. It's like this basically reads like the Tony the Tiger Bowl. Like you could barely see, like the Sun Bowl is there technically, but it's the Tony the Tiger Bowl. And I have no issues with it. I have no issues with that. The one thing here, that star is completely out of place for me. What are you doing here? Like it's almost as if they had designed the entire thing and like, this is great, but there's space there. What are we gonna do with this space, Jim? Well, just throw a star on there. But doesn't the star need to be? Let's just throw it on there. Well, it's almost like the star is a placeholder for a later idea that never came, and they just let it go out there and they just shipped it with this there. So that's literally the only thing I don't like about this. Like I even like how they hinted the V. They want the V to be smaller than the Tony and the Tiger, so they have like the little sun marking there where it's almost like a drawing of a sun there. Like I really like that. I like the text, the treatment on the Sun Bowl there. It's almost as if like it's like the sand or the desert. Like it's great. Like, and you have Tony Tiger looking you dead in the face. Tony has the eye marks, the patches under the eyes, football. Like a lot of this is winning. That star is not. TJ, what do you think of this?
So I called it the Tony the Tiger Bowl about 5 minutes ago. So that is about how good that is working. This is like the Gator Bowl levels of like we're taking over, but it's more extreme than that because they're not even like putting Sun Bowl in any way that's like really showing off. I'm gonna fix this logo for you in one of two easy moves. So option number one, instead of a star, it is get this, a sun. And you, instead of the little like cute little drawing of the sun, you make that football laces. Cool. Option two, you keep the sun under the, and the bottom of this crest becomes a football, and you put a white stripe there. I like option one more personally. It is the Sun Bowl, not the Star Bowl. And unless you're using those stars to like give out to like the players or some shit, then why is that not a sun? And then, like I said, if you're worried about the thing under the word the, that is a perfect spot for like just it move the orange lineup and you have football laces. It's not that hard. It can stay orange and then do a yellow sun. There's plenty of Sun Bowl suns that you can use as inspiration. And there you go. Bob's your uncle. I think that that's the way to go. But again, I think this bowl game is great. They are unapologetically doing what they're doing. And who's going to tell them no?
Yes, because this Texas Bowl, I just noticed something that I'm gonna have to critique. But this Texas Bowl, the silver belt buckle with the shape of the state. We got Big 12 versus SEC Bowl is prominent and it's embossed on there. You got the Texas there embossed on there. The foot with the laces at the top. It's like this hits. Like this is like bam. You know what this is. Memorable, fantastic design. I love everything about it except Tax Act. Tax Act. Let's talk. Black should not be on this logo at all. Like that's step number one. You are not a big enough brand to require, like, who do you think you are, the Rose Bowl? Like, you don't run things, okay? You could have fit so perfectly on this if you would have decided to go with the colors that match the colors of the rest of this. Two, if it's a little, your logo is a scotch too big for my taste. It's just, we can still see who you are. If you could just shrink that down just a tad, that would be great. I'm going back and forth between whether I want. I think I want it embossed too. Like I think I want the corporate brand to be embossed like Texas and the bowl ribbon, and just leave the Big 12 versus SEC to be the only thing that's not embossed there. But I just think this is a fantastic, fantastic logo that I need the corporate sponsorship to be more responsible on a design end, because it's like you're so close. You're so close. TJ, what do you think of this?
I think you nailed. Yeah, I think you nailed it right on the head. Like everything that the only real thing that stands out as wrong about this logo is Tax Act. It's a football belt buckle logo for a Texas Bowl. I mean, what more do you ask for from that? Yeah, it really just does come down to you added an entire extra color to this. Red, white, blue, and Texas, like those are synonymous. Those are great. I understand that. I love that. I love the colors. If you're not going to make Act blue, you could make everything that's blue black, and I think that would work too. But you didn't. And now Act stands out like a black, like sword thumb. I was gonna say red thumb, but it's not. It's, I don't know. It's unfortunate. But at the end, but what we're talking about here is does the Texas Bowl have a good logo? And they do. We just, like we've had with other bowl games, our problem comes down to the logo of the corporate brand that they slapped on the top. And that's unfortunate because I think the red works. I do. I think the red and tax works. So we got halfway there. And if they were coming down to like the option was some sort of black and white option or something, and they chose the color option, I think they chose the right option. Yeah, I don't know. It's unfortunate, but overall, the rest of it is awesome.
See, this is why Rose Bowl don't allow y'all corporate brands to be inside their logo. This is why. Because they know you would ruin it. So they're like, you can be presented by it. If we could just take all the bowl games where corporate sponsors ruin the daggum logo, I mean, the things that we could do. Yeah, that is it for our bowl game logo review. TJ, thank you for going with me on this journey. Just thank you for coming on the channel. You're always welcome.
It's always been honored to be invited back on here. I love doing these videos with you and talking about the beauty of some logos out there and the other logos that are out there.
Fantastic. But yeah, y'all make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, The Designer and the Writer is an official podcast within my YouTube channel. So I've basically taken a playlist of all the Designer and the Writer episodes, put them together so you can visit that playlist and watch all the episodes. We review sports logos. We do Harry Potter house logos. Like we've done all kinds of things here. We've done businesses in fictional lands, and we're gonna be doing more stuff in 2024. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, have a good one.